What's My Line? Brought to you by Sunbeam, the best electric shavers made. Tonight, presenting the first and only electric shaver that automatically adjusts to your face, automatically adjusts to your beard. Now, let's all play What's My Line?
And now, let's meet our award-winning panel of What's My Line. First, the popular columnist whose voice of Broadway appears in papers from coast to coast, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
It's a great pleasure to introduce for the first time on our panel the author and co-producer of one of Broadway's most marvelous hit plays, Sunrise at Campobello, Mr. Dore Schary.
And may I introduce the radiant star of Once More with Feeling, Miss Arlene Francis.
And now, the Easter Bunny of Random House, our publisher, panelist, Mr. Bennett, Cerf.
Here he is, the Baron Munchausen of panel moderators, Mr. John Charles Daly.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to What's My Line. Once again tonight, some very nice people have come to visit us and brought with them some very interesting occupations, with which we trust we will give the panel, including our guest, Mr. Schary, a tough time. We'll also have a famous mystery challenger before the panel a bit later in the show, and we'll have our first contestant in just 1 Now let's meet our first contestant. Will you come in and sign in, please? Right there. Margaret M.
Right.
Henderson. Is that right? Miss or Mrs.?
Miss.
Miss Henderson. Where are you from, Miss Henderson?
Lubbock, Texas.
Lubbock, Texas. Well, I'm glad you said that first. The first time I ever came across Lubbock in a news program, I messed it up something awful, and I got a lot of mail. So I'm glad we got it straightened out. Miss Henderson, the panel.
Thank you, sir.
Panel, Miss Henderson, will you join me over here, please? Tell me, Miss Henderson, are you familiar with our scorekeeping
Yes,
system?
I am.
In that event, let's let the folks at home and those who have joined us here in the theater tonight know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, I will tell you that Miss Henderson is salaried, and let's begin the general questioning with Bennett Cerf.
Miss Henderson, do you perform whatever you do in Texas?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Oh. Do you have to be in a specific place to perform these services rather than travel all over?
I think if you would agree, the fair answer to that question would be yes and no. The performance of the service is in some degree located for an extended period in one place, but at the same time it could require moving about.
Well, can I lean a little closer this way and get in one more question then?
Yeah.
Are you by any chance employed by a non-profit-making organization?
Yes.
Are you in any way connected with any form of government?
Yes.
Is it the government of the state of Texas?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Schary.
Is it the federal government?
Is
Is your service of benefit to both men and women?
Yes.
Is it a service that affects them sociologically in any way, rather than physically?
Yes, I think we'd have to admit, Mr. Schary, that it benefits in a very broad term sociologically.
Is it a service that has to deal in any way with education?
I would say here, with your permission, that there might be some relationship in the overall responsibility to education, but that the specific purpose of the assignment which Miss Henderson serves is not that of education, and ergo, you get a no.
I see.
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Well, Miss Henderson, do you have to have special training for your job?
Yes.
Are you holding a position that is very often held by men?
No.
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Miss Henderson, may we assume that the position that you hold is not one to which you were elected?
Yes, you may assume that.
Were you appointed by some government official to this post?
Yes.
Yes, I would think so.
Would the appointment come from very high in Washington?
Yes.
Would you have anything whatever to do with the diplomatic corps?
No.
No. That's 5 down and 5 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Would you be appointed by the executive branch of the government?
Yes.
Do you have anything to do with the cabinet of the United States?
No.
6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Schary.
Do you have anything to do with problems of society, let's say marriage problems?
No.
7 down and 3 to go, Miss Francis.
Miss Henderson, is there any title connected with your job?
Yes.
But it's a job that women do, mostly.
Arlene?
May we have a conference for 1 minute,
may have
Dorothy?
20
Just had a
seconds for a
flash.
conference.
If she had we ruled out the armed services? If she were connected with the waves or the wax or something, that would be a job held by women?
Are you associated with the armed services in some way?
Yes.
Jolly good, Dorothy. Is it the wax?
No.
8 down and 2 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Well, is it the waves?
No.
9 down and 1 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Is it the Lady Marines?
Yes.
You are a colonel
Yes.
in the Lady Marines? What else would you like?
Head of the Women's Marine?
That's right.
Oh.
Absolutely. The commandant of the Women's Marine. Colonel Margaret Henderson, the commandant of the Women's Marine Corps, and we're very pleased to have you, Colonel.
Very nice
If I may
to
say
be
so.
here.
Your predecessor, Colonel Hemblett, was with us,
Yes.
too. And as we wished her good office, may we wish you good office, too, and certainly I'm sure you'd get great satisfaction out of heading a very proud tradition and a very fine corps of women.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for being our guest on What's My Line.
Very nice.
Nice to have you. Nice going, panel. Just under the wire that time. Let's see what you can do with the second challenger. Will you come in and sign in, please? Right there. Irving? Thompson. Right, sir? Where are you from, Mr. Thompson?
I'm from Orange, Connecticut.
Orange, Connecticut. Well, that makes you practically a neighbor to all of us. Mr. Thompson, the panel. Mr. Thompson, will you join me here, please, sir? You know how we keep score, Mr. Thompson?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's let folks here in the audience and those who are looking in at home know exactly what your line is. All right. Panel, Mr. Thompson is salaried, and let's begin the general questioning with Dore Schary.
Any chance is there a product connected with what you do?
Yes, there is.
Is this product usually found in the home?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Francis. That's not to say it shouldn't be sometimes, though, Dore. Miss Francis?
Is this product used by both men and women?
Yes.
Is it a useful product?
Very.
Is it found out of doors?
Yes.
Is it found on the ground rather than beneath the ground?
No.
That makes it 2 down.
Found beneath the ground?
That just makes it 2 down and 8 to go, and you
All
try
right,
to
John.
figure
Yes,
out
I'm
what
trying
that
to.
means.
Thank you, John.
Yes, indeed, Miss Arlene. Mr.
Mr.
Cerf.
Thompson, is this product with which you're connected Is it or has it ever been alive?
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
If it is found beneath the ground, is it taken out of the
Miss
ground?
Kilgallen, the presumption is yours.
Oh, well, now perhaps I misunderstood
No,
the
the
wording.
question as it was asked. Would you repeat the question, Arlene?
I said, is it found on the ground rather than under the ground? And the answer was no. That means it could be found in the air.
Or any
it
place
could be,
above the ground.
Or it could be found in the water, something like that.
All
Or
right.
maybe, who knows, in outer space.
Is it, wherever it's found, solid rather than liquid?
Yes.
Have we established that it's never been alive?
Yes.
Is it found in this hemisphere?
Yes.
Is it something common enough so that everyone here might have seen it at one time or another?
I believe so.
Is it found above the level of the ground somewhere?
Yes.
Is it attached to something when it's above the level of the ground?
We hope so.
Yes.
Is it something that nature makes rather than man?
No. 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Schary.
Is it a device used in connection with anything in the air?
No.
No. 5 down and 5 to go, Miss Francis.
Is there anything about this that, is it used at special times, this product? Is it seen or shown at special
You
times?
mean only at special times? Is that what you're
No, I mean, are there special times when it is always there?
Yes.
Thank you, dear contestant.
Mr. Thompson, you're much too kind. 6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Thompson, is this product used more for a utilitarian purpose than a decorative one?
Yes.
Would it be used by any public utility?
Yes.
Believe
You
so,
mean
yes.
in any way whatsoever? Would it be used by a public utility in any way whatsoever? We would have to say yes to that.
Is there any wood in this product?
No.
That's right. 7 down and 3 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
To establish how far above the ground this is usually found, would it be found at a level lower than the top of the Empire State Building? Higher than the roof of this theater?
Yes.
Higher
no.
than the roof of this theater? No. 8 down and 2 to go, and you have 20 seconds for a conference.
Maybe it's a roof, something to do with roofing, Dory, because they laughed when the roof was mentioned.
Well, I'm going to follow your hunch. If I get in trouble, it's your fault. Is it
There's no
usually
wood in
found
it.
on the roof of a building?
Would it be found on the roof of a building?
Yes.
Afraid not.
Afraid not. Yeah. We're
Well,
sorry.
if
All
there
right,
isn't
then.
wood in it, is there any cloth in it?
No. 10 down and no more to go. And Mr. Thompson is with the American City Supply Corporation, which tells you exactly what he does. And thank you very much, Mr. Thompson. I said, Mr. Thompson is with the American City Supply Corporation.
Oh,
that tells you
that's what
everything.
it is
That's
above
right.
the
And he
ground.
hangs these supplies from the, well, you see, there you are. No, actually, he's... No, actually, Mr. Thompson sells traffic lights.
Oh,
Stop those. And now we'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, here is a message from our sponsor. And now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, for which I ask my friends on the panel every Sunday to blindfold themselves, and Miss Arlene Francis is blindfolding herself.
I'm tying one on, as they say.
The blindfolds all... blindfolds all in place, panel. Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? All right, panel, you know in the case of our mystery challenger, we go to a different form of questioning. You ask one question at a time, in turn, moving clockwise, and let's begin it all with Arlene Francis.
Would your name be found in the entertainment pages of the newspaper?
Honey, it sure would.
Mr. Cerf?
Gosh, I thought it was going to be Jack Benny, but you don't sound like Jack Benny. Are you, at present, working professionally in or about New York City?
Yes, I am.
Miss Kilgallen?
You just aged her, Bennett.
Do you sing or play a musical instrument?
One down and 9 to go, Dore Schary.
Are you presently in a Broadway show?
Da.
What?
Da, yes.
Yes.
Miss Francis?
Is the play a comedy?
Yes.
Mr. Cerf?
Has the play opened within the past 6 weeks?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Is it? No, I won't ask that question. Are you the heroine, the romantic heroine of the play?
Yes. No.
No. 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Schary.
Romantic.
Does the play you're in have a San Francisco background?
Yes.
Clever.
Cornelia Otis Skinner, I'll bet.
Well, you won your bet, Mr. Schary.
It is.
Cornelia Otis Skinner is right. I'm sorry to say. It's exactly right. Miss Skinner has made a very legitimate point. Mr. Schary said Cornelius, and that'll mean the rest of the cards get flipped at the very least.
Maybe a man.
Cornelius.
I said Cornelia, didn't I?
Cornelia
Okay,
Otis Skinner.
Forgive me.
What is the play?
The pleasure of his company.
The pleasure of his company, yes. You having fun
Consider
doing
it,
it?
John.
That's wonderful.
I always wonder, you know, Miss Cornelia, when you light, because I think probably the thing you love best is to take off and do these one-man shows, in quotes,
no,
that
don't
you
be
do.
silly. Between that and being in a show in New York, there's no comparison.
You'd rather be in New York
Oh,
than the show?
far more, yes.
Oh.
Wonderful.
Well,
Enjoy.
may I thank you for being kind enough to be in
Thank
this
you.
show
I'm
with
sorry
us.
I was so guessable.
No, we had him on the run for a minute or two. That helps. Anyway, thank you so much. Nice to have you with us. Well, it's plain to see, panel, that you've done rather well so far tonight. So we'll have another contestant after this word from our alternate sponsor. Is sign in right there. Thank you. Giuseppe Ogni, is that right? And Mr. Ogni, I don't want you to think we're tight about chalk. I just didn't think you wanted to keep this in your hand all the time. Where are you from, sir?
From Italy.
From Italy. Oh, fine. And golly, that's wonderful. We haven't anybody from Italy for a long time. Where in Italy?
In North Italy, in Brescia.
Ah, wonderful. Nice to have you with us. Mr. Ogni, the panel. Mr. Ogni, will you join me over here? Well, now, coming all the way from Italy, tell me, do you know how we keep score? No. Every time the panel asks a question to which you can give properly the answer no, we flip a card.
Yeah.
10 flips, and you have won the game.
Thanks.
But if they find out what it is you do before the 10 flips, then they've won the game. So let's see. All right, now that you know how to keep score, let's let everybody at home and those in the theater, except the panel, know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, we will tell you that Mr. Ogni is self-employed, and let's begin the general questioning with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Mr. Onya, Italy is very famous for its effect on beautifying women by fashion or some other method. Do you have anything to do with beautiful women?
Does he have anything to do? Would you care to redraft that question, Miss Dorothy?
Does your work bring you in contact with women?
You mean specifically, does the kind of work he does
Professionally.
necessitate contact with, professionally with beautiful women?
Yes.
What? No, Mr. Onion, you're too generous. We'll give him a no on that one. All right with you? Okay, 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Schary.
Grazie, anyway.
Are you connected with the theater in any way?
Are you connected with the theater in any way?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
When you do what you do people ever watch you?
Yes.
Do they pay to watch you sometimes?
Yes.
Can you do what you do out of doors?
Yes.
Would it be considered in the sports world at all, what you do?
Yes.
Does transportation have anything to do with what you do? A vehicle of some kind? Are you on something that rides along the ground in
You
your...
mean going from one place to another?
You're trying to catch me, John.
I'm not. I'm trying to be helpful, Arlene.
Since when, John?
Yes, is yes.
Does it go someplace?
Yes, it goes somewhere.
Uh-huh. Has it 2 or more wheels?
We certainly hope so. Does it have 2 or more wheels? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is it a dangerous sport?
Sometimes.
Is it either bicycles or sport cars?
Either, yes.
Either a bicycle or a sport car rider? Now, Bennett feels it's the 6-day bicycle race type of work.
Now, do you want, is that your
I'd like to
question?
know how the other end of the panel feels.
Yes.
Some of us feel that he's a racing car driver.
That's what I think, too. But
Is he
maybe
a
he's just on a motorcycle.
Well,
Are
which
you
one?
are you a driver?
No.
How have you been, Bennett? Oh, what is?
No.
Maybe he's a mechanic.
No, actually, I must say here, and it tends to give everything away. Well, anyway, what the hey? We just throw all the cards over.
Designer?
A driver, I don't think, would probably be the...
A rider?
Is he a 6-day bike rider?
That's it, actually. But I knew Bennett was going to get it, you see.
Bennett.
6-day bicycle rider is right.
Bennett was
But
right all along.
Now, the first thing, though, would you say that a 6-day bicycle rider is a driver? Would you describe that as
No, he's a rider.
a rider? It couldn't be as a driver. Now, actually, Mr. Onya is you are the sprint champion of Italy, aren't you?
Yes.
And he did come over for the 6-day race and had, unhappily, some rather ill fortune. Your partner, I think,
Yes, in the 3rd day, he had appendix.
had appendicitis, and
But
so that
Italian boys won, didn't they?
Yes, it's
Italian
another
team won.
team.
another team did?
The big one.
Ah.
We have the small one.
Ah, good. Well, you'll be the big one next time, for
Thank
sure.
you.
Thanks very much for being our guest. It was nice to have you with us. Mr. Schary, it's been very nice being with us. Were you, by the way, voting for the racing driver or the bicycle
I'd
rider?
like to say now that I was on Bennett's side, but the truth is I wasn't. Dorothy and I agreed he was a racetrack driver.
It's been very nice having you with us. We hope you enjoyed your brief visit with us.
Thank you.
And on that happy note, good night, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
Good night, John. Good night, Dore. Come again.
Thank you. Good night, Arlene.
Good night, Dory. Good night, Bennett, dear. I'm sorry.
It's all right. You
Oh,
mustn't
I'm
be
going to
like
get
that.
such dickens when this program's over.
Good night, Mr. Daly.
Good night, Mr. Cerf. Easter Bunny. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being with us on What's My Line?
Transportation for contestants on What's My Line is arranged by United Airlines. What's My Line is the CBS television network production in association with Mark Goodson and Bill Todman.